You're up.
And we are back. This is the Field of 68 After Dark. We are on Sirius XM channel 84. That is the ESPNU station. You can find us on YouTube. You can find us streaming on Twitter. If you are watching on either of those channels, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, help us out. All those interactions really do grow the channel. Yeah, you might even want to smash that like button. Right? Smash that like button. Listen, we got to talk about National Player of the Year because I think that this is the most intriguing Player of the Year race that I can ever remember. It feels like normally at this point, everyone has kind of figured out who their favorite is. And the best that I can tell, there are like 11 or 12 guys that very much deserve to be in that conversation. And if you want, I can kind of roll down a list for you real quick. Drew Timme, got to be in the conversation. Oscar Tshiebwe, got to be in the conversation. Benedict Matherin's got to be in the conversation. Jabari Smith has to be in that conversation. Maybe even Jaden Ivey. Johnny Juzang, right? He's averaging 18 points a game for a team that looks like they might be top 5 again. Ochai Agbaji has to be in there. Paolo Banchero has got to be in that conversation. Kofi's got to be in that conversation. Keep going down the list. EJ Liddell, Keegan Murray, Johnny Davis. There are so many dudes that have to be in the National Player of the Year conversation, and there is no front runner at this point. So Sweeney, I'm going to you first on this one, man. If you had to pick today, who would be your National Player of the Year?
Johnny Davis. Johnny Davis, Wisconsin, for 2 reasons. Number one, Johnny Davis has brought it in every single big game this season. Houston, Maui Invitational, 30 ball for an upset win. Mackey Arena, early January, 37 on the road. Game-winning shot against Indiana to cap a huge comeback. 27 against Northwestern, business-like on the road, and a tough comeback game. They had to battle in that game for 40 minutes, right? I mean, you just go down the list. Like every single game they've needed him. 26 against Iowa. Like he has not missed a big game this year. He has balled out in every single one of them. And I think at some point, like that matters. And I think the other thing is, where would this team be without Johnny Davis? NIT? Maybe even not the NIT? Like
Goodman says that they would be going to the CBI without Johnny Davis, but he'll never come on here to answer about any of those statements, just like he's not going to come on here and face the Providence fans that are in the YouTube chat right now or killing us on Twitter. He's not tough enough. He's not built to play in the big
He's not jumping out there doing that, man. He's probably on the beach somewhere right now.
He's a Pac-12 guy. He went to Arizona. He's a Pac-12 guy. He's not built for this, RC. He is not built for this. Who would you have as your National Player of the Year right now?
I couldn't argue with him. It's got to be Johnny Davis. I mean, I don't know how, because again, when we talk about every other team, we talk about multiple dudes, and I can't think of where they'd be. Like you said, they're not even. They're definitely not an NIT. They're an NIT team at best without him. He's been the best player in college basketball this year. And he, like you said, when the moments mattered, he stepped up, going into Purdue, getting a win. I mean, he's been big time. I mean, I can't argue against anyone else. I mean, there's, Abaji's had his moments. Kofi, when he's been healthy, has been great. I'm still believing that Timme, I think Drew Timme's been there. I don't know if they'll, they kind of in conference play right now, and that's what hurts them. Their league isn't as strong, but
and he's struggled a little bit in some of their losses.
Some of the losses, the bigger games earlier on, he struggled, but he'll be there in the end. I just think the resume Johnny Davis has put forth, I don't think you can. If the award was given out right now, he's going to get it. He has to get it.
I was
freaking top 10.
Yeah, I love Johnny Davis. I think that we can make a pretty strong argument for Oscar Tshiebwe. He's not the go-to guy. He's a big guy. He does a lot of ugly work. He is probably like the best glue guy in all of college basketball right now. But I don't think that what Kentucky does and the way that they want to play works without Oscar Tshiebwe. And I would also say that if he's not on the floor, who is Kentucky playing at the 5? Damian Collins doesn't play anymore. He's nailed to the bench. I don't think.
I think he's the most valuable guy for Kentucky, and I think he makes it better for everyone else. I just don't think he's Player of the Year. I mean, I think he's the reason. We were talking earlier with Wheeler driving. I mean, I think what he does is he makes him effective because he drives to the rim and you're afraid to go. Because once a big rotates over, it's over. He's getting a rebound. So all Severe has to do is just throw it up off the glass and not get it blocked. He's cleaning it up for everybody. So he makes everybody's job better. But they got dudes. We talking about Tata being a lottery pick. Like that's the only knock I have against him. I think he's he's Kentucky's most valuable player. I just don't think he's player of the year in college basketball.
Yeah, I mean, I can hear that. That makes sense. Go ahead, Sweeney. Sorry.
Yeah, he was my number 2. The way he changed the game rebounding, like I don't think people have kind of totally contextualized just how good a rebounder he is. I mean, he's number 1 in offensive rebounding rate and defensive rebounding rate on KenPom, which is just preposterous. Like he completely, and you alluded to it, Rob, earlier, like the way it changes like the in-game outcomes for Kentucky, because it allows them to get more guys out in transition. It allows them to not have to send as many guys to the offensive glass so they can get back on D and set their defense. Like he runs the floor so well so he can get back when he is fighting for rebounds. Like I think there's a real case for him because he's such an impactful defender. He's so impactful on the glass. Like he gets you so many extra possessions a game, and he's putting up, 15, 16 points a night. And it's played big ball games, right? Like honestly,
it kind of depends on what you look at for that award, right? Like if we're talking about who is the most indispensable player on any team, the most valuable player, the guy that is the most important to a national championship contender, it's probably Oscar Tshiebwe. But if we're talking about like, okay, if you're starting a team right now and you got to pick one guy based on the way that he's played this entire season, it's hard to go. It's hard to go against Johnny, man.
Johnny's like your traditional national player of the year, like the star player on a very good team who elevates his team otherwise, who takes the big shots in the big moments, right? Like she's a different type of guy. But hey, how about this? If Oscar Tshiebwe was better at calling out screens, he'd be the national player of the year favorite because they wouldn't have lost to LSU and they might have beaten Auburn.
Most big men don't. I'm gonna say this to you guys. I know this is off the topic, a little different, but I'm gonna jump out there and say this. A team that we killed, and I was part of it too. But come tournament time or come the latter part of this year, that's gonna be better. Is the North Carolina, and it pains me to say this, is the Tar Heels.
If they defend, if they play defense, that's the thing. If they play defense and they're bought in, then with the way that Baycott is playing and how good their backcourt is, yeah, because they could put up 100 on anybody, but they could also put up 100 and give up 115. And you know that they could, RC. No.
I'm not arguing it. I just think I think their road schedule. They started out with 5 or 7 on the road, and it was tough for them. I think then they're changing that and getting a taste of being home. They're starting to play a little better defensively. I watched, and I say that only because I watched them twice last week. And now, again, we'll see as this translates on the road. But watch out, because if they start doing that, then they're going to jump into this conversation of teams that we're like, whoa, like, because of Armando's Baycott's putting up the same kind of numbers that Oscar's putting up. I mean, he's averaging 5 offensive rebounds a game in conference play. So with their backcourt, their guard play, that's all. They're just a team that kind of reminds me of that, as bad as we were on Kentucky and Carolina early on, Kentucky just hit their stride a little better. And I think UNC could later.
Yeah, we definitely crushed North Carolina early on this
Deservedly
season.
Deservedly
so. And we crushed Kentucky earlier on this season as well. But listen, this has been fun. This has been the Field of 68 After Dark. If you're listening on Sirius, make sure to come check us out on YouTube for the After Dark after starting in 5 seconds. So for Randolph Childress and for Kevin Sweeney, my name is Rob Dauster. Thank you for being here.